A very good morning to all the listeners who have joined us for this webinar. So, before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Jawahar Gadvi. I'm one of the business managers with Octane, and today we're going to talk about the best practices to improve your email delivery. So, before I begin, I just give you a snapshot that what all things we're going to talk about. We'll talk about what is email delivery, what are the global numbers for delivery, how do you get the right opt-ins in place, how do you get your data in place, how do you get the content in place, how do you build your reputation, how do you get those technology aspects involved in email marketing, how do you resolve them. And we'll also talk about something which has been asked quite a lot from us, that is enterprise email marketing. We have seen a lot of challenges being faced in that also. So to begin with, what is email delivery? So as a marketer or as a technology manager, you're sending your large number of emails, some emails, and out of those emails, where is that email going? Is it landing to the inbox? Is it going to the spam? Is it being blocked by the spam filters? This is email delivery. So what we have seen and understood that a lot of innovative, creative email marketing campaigns can be really unsuccessful if the communication fails to reach the intended audience. This leads to a loss of ROI. Talking about ROI, email is the ROI king. For every dollar that you spend on email marketing, you get $40 in return. So I think this is a big enough reason to reach to your customers and prospects inboxes. Now talking about some global numbers here in terms of global email delivery stats. Globally, for every email that you send out, you get 81% of inbox delivery, preceded by 7% in spam and 12% which goes missing or blocked at the ISP level filtering. If you also talk about Asia Pacific number, the inbox number goes a bit down again. It goes at 78% inbox, 18% missing and blocked, and 4% in the spam. So these are global numbers which talk about delivery. So I think some of you will be surprised at these numbers, looking at these, but some of these are challenges which can be faced by not only your technology team if you're doing it in-house, by also your ESP if you're working with any ESP, global ESP, or an email service provider. Coming on next to the next slide, before we talk about how an email flows, how get authentication, how do you build a reputation and all, the first and very most important thing is how do you get your data in place? How do you collect those opt-ins? How do you get your people to subscribe to your newsletters, etc., etc. To start off with, once you've done all the hard work, you have displayed a banner, somebody has clicked on it, somebody searched for you or your product, and he goes to a website and he's registering. Give him an opt-in, give him a checkbox, give him a prior message that you're signing up for this newsletter. It also means that, to give an example, that as a customer, as a prospect, once you sign up with us, you'll receive these kind of emailers and these kind of communications. So as a consumer, I'll be ready for what you have to say about. So I'll be informed. So that is very important. Let them know beforehand. Also, if somebody is signing up, give them an opt-in checkbox. If I'm giving you my email to you, it doesn't necessarily mean I need your newsletters. It could be something like I need to do it. So ask for prior permission before you send them out, right? Also, to validate your data, which means if somebody has given you the permission to send them an email, send them a non-commercial welcome email. What it does is that it's a soft a reminder that you have signed up with us. It also acts as a validator, which means if that thank you email bounces, you don't need to add it to your existing database. So so this is the first level of keeping a hygienic data. So it also reduces your hard bounces and chances of getting your email and IP reputations down once you start your email campaigning. Also, once you send out those welcome emails, you can add or you can ask the people to add your email, from email that you have used, into the safe sender list, or add it to your address book. This will again improve reputation, and next time when they receive the email, it will really go to the inbox. We'll also talk about something which many of the people have shied upon, is using double opt-in. So double opt-in simply means that if somebody registered or signed up with you, he gets a thank you or a authentication email that if you click on that email, then only we'll add you to our mailing list. So double opt-in has its pros and cons. Pros being that you get a highly engaged and responsive audience, but it also may increase the chances of dropouts, and it may limit the size of your database. So I think this is a call which the marketeers need to take at their end. Collecting, again, you're doing all the things online, and if you're doing email collection offline, it could be via call center, it could be your customer care, it could be your sales team, it could be just exchanging business cards and all. I think we should again tell them and take prior permission for opt-ins, and also we should validate those emails, because we have generally seen that emails which are collected offline tend to have a high tendency of bouncing. So make sure the hyphens are there, the words are correctly penned down, etc. One more very important thing I like to point out here is that please provide a one-click unsubscribe link in all your email messages. What I mean by a one-click unsubscribe link is that as a customer, tomorrow or day after tomorrow or in some time, if I want to really opt out of your email campaigns, I should clearly see unsubscribe button. It could be placed at the top as an example. Why I say on the top and why I say are clearly visible, one is that if a customer or the consumer doesn't see the unsubscribe link, he or she has a tendency of clicking on spam rather than trying to find out where the unsubscribe link is. So what it invariably does is that it reduces your reputation again as a sender. So make sure you have a clearly visible unsubscribe link. It will really help you in people not marking your email as spam. Next, what we talk about is that if you're collecting your database offline, like we discussed in the second last point, please give them an option of unsubscribing offline also. It could be through a phone number, it could be through a postal address. Some people don't do it, but I think it should be really followed. You can do that. Also, if you're doing your emailing in-house with your technology team, I really suggest you should clean your database regularly. It means removing all the hard bounces and the undelivered emails, which means that you keep your data hygienic, because if you send an email which have already bounced, it again kills your reputation as an email sender. If you're working with an ESP or an email service provider, they generally give you the automatic settings of removing all the hard bounces on the fly. That's taken care of. So to sum it up, you need to really treat your email database like you would treat your mailing database. Keep it clean, up to date, deduped, and clean. Moving on, we'll talk about how an email flows. It means that once you send out an email campaign or once you send out a single email, what does really happen to that email? How does it flow? What is the path that it takes before it goes to the inbox or the spam or goes missing? So if you look at the supporting flowchart, if you are sending that email, so there are three things which it passes through. The first being the authentication, which are technology terms like SPF, sender ID, domain keys. We'll talk about them in advance later words. Second is reputation. How do you build how is the reputation of you as a sender? And also, how does content filtering happens at your end? Which means, what kind of a data, the content that you're using, is the email built on the specific guidelines of best practices and all. So we'll talk about all these three things coming up and how this thing flows. So first, talking about authentication, we go to authentication first. So authentication simply means three simple things. First is sender policy framework or SPF, sender ID, domain keys. So we'll talk about sender policy framework or the SPF first. SPF simply means that it allows the owner of the internet domain, for example, if you're using the domain xyz xyz.com, it can designate which machines are authorized to send emails whose sender email address ends with xyz.com. So that's a authentication protocol. So it hampers, you can say, spoofing and phishing. So nobody can use your email to send a communication. So ISPs filter that. They're looking at those things. Second is sender ID. Sender ID again is a framework or an email authentication technology protocol that helps in addressing the problem of spoofing and phishing by verifying the domain name from which emails are sent. So some use the SPF records like Gmail and Yahoo. Some use the sender ID for like Hotmail and AOL for the authentication protocols. Third, again very important, are the domain keys. Domain keys, simply put, are pieces of information contained in email message that enables the receiver to identify whether the message has actually come from the sender it claims to have come from. So again, it detects forgery, it avoids fraud. So the spam filters avoid these emails and put them in missing or in spam. So they are looking out for you. So if you're again working in-house with your technology team, please ask them to put these SPF, sender ID and domain keys in place. Very important. It will authenticate you as a sender. If you're working with an ESP, please get in touch with them if they haven't already done it for you. Next, very important, something which is in your hand, reputation. So reputation means blacklist and volume rates and user votings and how do you manage your bounces and what is the behavior of your mailing list. So starting with, you can say blacklist, just make sure the IP addresses that you're using are all whitelisted. Also make sure the domain that you're using, the from domain that you're using is also whitelisted. Please use easily identifiable from names. So example, if you're sending a communication to your customer, let them know this is you, right? So they can easily identify, they can open and again improve your reputation. Talking about volume rates, be consistent with your mailing. For example, if you're sending out 20,000 emails today, you cannot send out 20 lakh emails the next day. So ISPs become suspicious that in such a short period of time, how did you increase your database many folds? So that's a challenge. So they become suspicious and they will probably put you in spam. Please use correct personalizations. Please use, you can say, the correct opt-in processes. Please do not use dishonest subject lines. Again, very important. If you're talking about, let's suppose, a car in the body of the mailer, talk about the car in the subject line. Please don't use irrelevant subject lines. So this also means that you're trying to dedupe the customer or trying to do things which a spammer does. So all in all, all these things are which a spammer does, and you need to do the opposite of them. Also, please ensure that the links are accurate reflection of the landing page. So because it will also increase reputation, and if you're doing the other way, it increases your reputation as somebody who's doing phishing or trying to forge or fraud a customer. Also, please don't use spammy words. Please don't use giant images. Talking about bounce management, again, I'll come back to the point which I've already made, that if you're having hard bounces, please remove them from your database. If you send them an email again and again to a hard bounce, it again removes your reputation. It brings it to a lower level. Talking about behavior, how do you increase your reputation? Again, how do you engage with the customer? If your database is correct, if you have done everything correct, click-throughs, if people are opening and clicking through, this is a sign of happy recipients. It means the people are engaged with you as an audience, right? If people are opening over time, so what ISPs are looking at your email history. If people are opening and over time, for not every day, but most of the times once you send an email, it shows a relationship between recipient and the sender. And God forbid, if you land up in spam, if a user really wants to receive your emails, they will hit your email as not spam. So this is also being monitored by ISPs. They're looking at, okay, people are really looking for that email, and this is not spam for them. So this is like user voting. So user behavior will actually help you build reputation and keep you out of the spam box. So be engaged, be relevant, be updated with your contacts. Please keep updating your database also with the new things also. Coming on to the next part, something which is absolutely in your hands, the content, the email that you're sending out as a marketeer. So content filtering is something which is scrutinized by ISPs again at the level. So we'll talk about how images, how the construction of emailers, the coding of the mailer, how subject lines, and how links, they all add up to your content, how you can produce a great content upon these things. Now we'll talk about some tips on how to get your content right. So first of all, please get a professionally designed template. By what I mean by a professionally designed template is that please make sure that it is coded correctly. Please make sure that email looks best on all the browsers, because bad coding can really attract a higher spam score and it may lead you to the spam box. Also make sure your email doesn't have a missing or redundant code, which means if you have the coding gone bad, then there would be rendering problems which would indicate to ISPs that your emails are not professional, and they would probably put you in spam again. Avoid empty font tags. For example, NBPS, these are empty tags which can again hamper your deliverability to inboxes. Send a multi-part email. To simply put, multi-part emails are sending your HTML plus plain text along with your HTML. This improves your reputation as a center, and if you're working with ESPs, most of the ESPs give you an option of sending a multi-part email on the fly. One thing very important I again like to mention here is that please keep a check and a double check for spelling mistakes and typos. Very, very important. Bad grammar and spelling mistakes should be avoided at all cost. And if the ISPs don't understand the words or the grammar that you're making out, they will again put you in spam. So please avoid spelling mistakes. And so I'll take an example that once we were working with a customer. In the subject line, they had messed up the words. They had some typo errors, etc., etc. So on an average, they were getting fantastic open rates on a day-wise emailing, and on that certain day of the error, their open rates dropped by 6 to 7%. And when we diagnosed what could be the problem was, and we figured out because of the typo error, because of the using a slang also, they had a drop of 6 to 7% open in that particular campaign. This is how much it can damage your email campaigns. Also use a great balance between your text and images. It could be a 60-40 images between text and images. For example, why I say a balance between text and images is that spam filters cannot read images. They become blank, they cannot see and understand what is this image all about. So also use all text on that images. Personalize properly, or please don't personalize at all. If you have the from name of the person, if you want to send them an email saying that hi, it could be hi Jawahar or hi Ajay. So please make sure their names are correct. Please make sure you have the data correctly in place, because if somebody receives a wrong personalized email, then there's a tendency they again mark you as spam or unsubscribe. So this reduces the reputation part also, and loses the engagement of the customer. Also, some of the don'ts that I like to mention and talk about is that please don't use italics and very large fonts. They again keep you out of the inbox, they put you in spam, etc., etc. So please remember keeping a good balance between text and images. Don't use different fonts and all the words in the uppercase. For example, if using a X Times Roman font in one place and a Calibri in other, it should be totally avoided. Also, please don't use white text on a graphical background. This is something which all the spammers do, just to avoid the you can say the eyes of the spam filters. Please don't do that. This is something which is really important. Something which I've also seen as a email marketer, lot of companies, lot of customers also use embedded images. I think they should be really, really avoided. So why? Because spammers send these images, these emails with images as attachment or embedded within the email. So what it may seem like is that I don't have to click on display images for the images to land, but what it actually does, it makes the the email heavier, and again very prone to spam. So to avoid this, host your images online, either through your image library or on your website. You can do that. Again, one very important thing people have again asked us many times: can I use a form in the email? I want to send them a registration campaign in the sense that I want to take more details out of the customer. I want to send a campaign saying that please send us your updated emails, phone number or contact details. It should be really avoided. Don't put forms in the email, body of the email, because forms uses JavaScripts, which are again fishy, and many a times they are again blocked by the ISPs, and they put you in the spam. And also please don't use high spam words like free and you can say gamble and all these words. You can also come down to your website and we can also share the list of spam words which are being used these days. So avoid them. Coming on to next part, very important. This is again being asked by a lot of our customers and it hasn't been answered very well. This is enterprise email spam filters. So enterprise email spam filters are the hardest to get around, which means that B2B marketers face extra hurdles to reach the inbox. So enterprise spam filter uses a combination of content and subscriber feedback to classify spam, and in most cases are set up and controlled by the enterprises and not by the spam filter provider. So resolving inbox placements issues therefore can be a big challenge. When I say challenging, I think challenging may be an understatement. The most widely used spam filter, or the Postini, it's called the Postini, only delivers 23% of your emails to the inbox. I think that it would be a surprise to a lot of people, but only 23% in the inbox, 33% in the spam, and 44% goes missing. So just figure out and understand if your mail providers are using Postini as that. Take an example of one more spam filter like a Spam Assassin. It gives you like 90% inbox delivery and 10% goes missing and blocked. So there's a huge difference. To sum up of whatever that we have spoken about here is that I'll quickly revisit whatever that we've spoken in the last 21 minutes. So email is the ROI king, undoubtedly. Gives you the best ROI for every dollar that you spend, $40 in return, great number. So you can again keep reinvesting in your email marketing strategies, and I'm sure you'll get more budget approvals on your email campaigns. Collecting opt-ins, and please build relevant data. Get the users details, get the right details, tell the user what they have signed up for, and they will be more engaged with you. Talking about technical authentications like SPF, DKIM, Center ID, get them in place. If you're doing it in-house, get your technology team in place and ask them to do it. If you're working with an ESP, if they haven't already done it for you, please get in touch and get those done. Also, please build your email sender reputation. With all the things and the pointers that you've discussed, please do that and it will really help you in building that reputation. Get your HTML content correct. Please get professional help in building out the email content. This is something which is, as a marketer or as a technology manager, you have complete control of. I think this is something which you should really work on. Please follow all the best practices. Keep updated with them. Also, we have seen a lot of challenges in enterprise mailing. I think those challenges are here to stay. If we have a new technology breakthrough or something for that, we'll surely update you in our next webinar or in the next blog that we share. Before I say goodbye, just a quick recap of what we've done and just a few words about Octane and what we're doing. So on a monthly basis, we serve around 300 plus million inboxes, and we are working currently with 120 brands, which include Fortune 500 companies, small SMBs, a lot of established e-commerce companies, and a lot of upcoming ones also. We have offices in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and we have come up with our office in San Francisco. So all the international people happy to engage with you on that. We are privately held and profitable. We currently have around 40 plus full-time employees, and yes, we are hiring. So if one of you is interested in working with us, please visit our website octane.in and drop in your resumes. We'll be more than happy to get in touch with you on that. By the way, also we just in 2012 we got voted as the 20 top hottest startups, tech startups in India, and we're trying to build on that, and you'll see much more innovation and technology breakthroughs from Octane in the coming years. We'll see you in the next webinar on the 16th of April. Thank you so very much for joining us. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.